We shot most of the scenes in this video about 5 weeks ago, and as I was editing it, I realized that we had way too much footage for a single YouTube video. I try to keep these under 10 minutes because I kind of feel like videos that are longer than 10 minutes are sort of boring. Anyway, I wanted to show you just really quickly something we've actually made with the machine. Wow, that tripod is really bumpy. I bought this kit of parts or accessories for Dremel tool. I bought 3 or 4 of these different sets because they all had different parts in it. Some had grinding parts and some had cutting parts, and there's some sanding parts and grinders and sanders, all kinds of different pieces in here. And the case they came in, this is the case that came from Dremel, was really badly organized. So I used my 3D printer to make these inserts for this case. Make a comment if you're interested in seeing how I designed that. I actually designed these inserts in Tinkercad, and I just printed them yesterday actually. Anyway, so this is an intro to the second part of installing the limit switches, and I'm going to show you here how we made some strain relief bushings that will protect the wiring from getting damaged. Alright, this next step is definitely not in the instructions. The wires to the homing switches are supposed to run down through the center of the tubing right here. And what I noticed on the first machine is that this edge right here is pretty sharp. And while I can shove those through the hole without any problem, and that's nice because it makes for a clean installation, that insulation is going to be cutting against the edge there. And I don't want that to happen. So what I did was I got some silicone tubing, and I just use fuel tubing from radio-controlled airplanes. You can get that at any hobby shop or maybe an auto parts store, and it really doesn't matter. You could use aquarium, fish tank tubing, or you could use some Tygon tubing or windshield washer tubing, vacuum tubing, whatever. But something here, I just want to create a kind of a bushing or a strain relief right here. So I'm going to cut some 1-inch pieces of this stuff. So I just cut 6 of these pieces off with the X-Acto knife, and it doesn't really matter the length as long as they're, 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch, that's plenty.
Wait, so do you just like shove it in there, like over here?
No, it's going to go in this hole right here.
Oh.
Okay, but rather than just shoving it in, what we're going to do is put it on the wire first.
Oh.
Okay, so you want to be sure that you don't put the housing on first. You want to just put the pin-out connector through, and then put the second one through. Yeah, it could be a little tricky to get it through there, but get the wire shoved through the connector. Come on. It's being a little stubborn. So it was a whole lot easier when I wasn't on camera. Suddenly,
nervous.
Being on camera, things get difficult,
you're
and
nervous.
I don't understand why. No, I'm not nervous.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
If you say so.
You're nervous, that's why it's so hard.
Okay, so you shove those through.
Shove them through there. And then you shove it through that little opening in the top.
I'm just going to make sure that these are about the same length.
Our hands are in the
And then work it down here like so. And then the wires. Are you up high enough so people can see how it's going in?
Yes, I'm up high enough.
Okay, so that goes in there.
Okay. See that? See that, people? It's like sorcery. It's like sorcery.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then it comes out.
Don't be one of those. You're supposed to be filming up here.
Oh, okay.
I'm moving the thing around. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say then it comes out down there. But
Then it comes out the bottom.
like so.
Like this. Don't jerk the camera around too much. Everybody will get seasick.
That's
We don't want people to make comments that they're getting seasick.
That's kind of hard to do without a tripod.
Okay, get up here. Okay, so once you got it tucked through there, then the next thing is just work the tubing down into that hole. And are you too close in, or are you just right?
Well, your finger's in the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to. So you kind of have to have your fingers there in order to get the tubing to go into the hole. And the problem is, once you got the tubing in the hole, it constricts a little bit, so you can't really push the wire through after you put the tubing in. So
Because
Anyway.
the tubing is not exactly the diameter
Right,
of the hole.
it's a little bit fat, and the walls of the tubing are thick. You're wiggling all over the place.
I
buddy.
know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, we need to find the shoe for that other tripod so it's more stable. Are you sure you're not too close? Is it actually in focus that close?
Yeah, it actually is. I know how to take video. Come on.
Okay, if you say so.
I'm not.
All right, you can stop that.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, more learning how to do video here. And how to use our tripod, which we don't know how to do. Okay, anyway, slide that down here. And again, you're just going to slide that into the end of the extrusion. And again, it doesn't matter how far it goes in. It only needs to go in, a quarter of an inch or so. On the bottom, there's some holes here at the bottom of the extrusion. So these wires are going to tuck through here, like so. Okay, one at a time, and like that. And pull them all the way through, like so. And the reason, this is the main reason why I put this tubing right here. This part is actually going to sit flat on the work table, and the wires are going to be pinched between the work table and the frame of the machine, and I didn't like that at all. So that's why I put the tubing on the end here. I just made it long enough so that it'll tuck into the corner here, into the corner assembly here, this molded, injection molded corner. And then there's another hole at the bottom of the stepper motor here. And you can just tuck that through there and through there, and then these will all come together. Here's the ones on the top. All these wires will come together at the motherboard. So what do you think about those?
Well, these things kind of act like feet, but you kind of need these.
Yeah, they would act as feet, but I don't really want to rely on that. I want something a little more secure. So
like this.
I picked up these little gripper pads. These are furniture pads, and I got these. These are just in the hardware department at Walmart. And so I'm going to put these at the bottom of the frame. And later I'm going to do something different. I think what I'll do is 3D print some feet that actually slot into the actual extrusion. But for now, these rubber feet are going to work just fine. Just line it up. Go ahead and line it up with the...
Like
yeah.
that?
Yeah. So you line it up just right where so it's all on the metal and not on the...
Plastic.
so it's just right up at the edge of the plastic, okay?
Alright.
Okay, and we're going to put two on each one, and that'll give it a nice firm support. Cut down vibration and noise and all that kind of stuff. But mostly just to protect those wires. That's the main reason I want these on here. So, and this is as good a time as any to do it. Here's another one, since it's upside down. Okay, the last step in installing the limit switches is to just put the connectors together. And you've noticed there's kind of an open side and a closed side here. So the closed side goes down, and there's a square opening in the back side of the connector. Just pops in here, and you push it through until it snaps. Then if you have to get it out, you can take a sharp instrument of some kind and you can push it right in here, and that'll release the little tab here. And so if you have to ever get these connectors apart, you can lift the tab, pull that out. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to take the risk of breaking it. I just want to get this video done. So that's the end of this video on installing the top triangles and the, what do we call these things? Limit switches.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, hope that was helpful to you, and
Like this video and subscribe.
yeah, what he said. Bye-bye. We'll try to get this up by tomorrow or the next day.